Hey everyone, David here. Finally got a little bit of time away from work to be able to put together this video I've been promising for a bit where I talk about Marx and tell you I'm proud of you. So we'll start with Marx, and the passage that I'm going to read, it's not very long, and it is about the dialectic, which I know can be a pretty confusing topic for some people. So hopefully this video is helpful for kind of just understanding the base idea of what the dialectic is. So I'll read some of the passage and then I'll explain what it means. My dialectic method is not only different from the Hegelian, but is its direct opposite. To Hegel, the life process of the human brain, i.e. the process of thinking, which, under the name of the idea, so pay attention to that, the idea, because that'll be important. Under the name of the idea, he even transforms into an independent subject, is the demiurgos of the real world, and the real world is only the external, phenomenal form of the idea. So basically saying that there's this relationship between the material world and the ideas in our head, and so to Hegel, the idea is kind of the horse that is guiding the cart, is what drives human history forward. It's what's driving the world and universe forward. The idea comes first, and the material reality is kind of reflecting our ideas. With me, on the contrary, the ideal is nothing else than the material world reflected by the human mind and translated into forms of thought. So basically, for Marx, he is saying that there is this dialectic between the ideal and the material, but to him, the material is what's pushing the cart. It is our response to the material world that drives forward history, and so materialism is what comes first, and that's where we get the term dialectical materialism. I'll skip forward just a little bit and go to where he says, the mystification which dialectic suffers in Hegel's hands by no means prevents him from being the first to present its general form of working in a comprehensive and conscious manner. So he's actually praising Hegel. He appreciates Hegel to be the first philosopher to codify the idea of the dialectic. So he's not exactly anti-Hegel. He just thinks that Hegel has it wrong, which he talks about in this very next sentence. With him, it is standing on its head. It must be turned right side up again if you would discover the rational kernel within the mystic shell. So, again, he likes the idea of the dialectic that Hegel puts forward, but he just thinks it needs to be turned upside down. So it is not ideas that guide everything, and it is not ideas that shape our material world. Rather, it is the material world that shapes our ideas, and that is the real driver of human history and the universe in general. So that is our Marx passage. When it comes to being proud of y'all out there, I do mean that sincerely. And I know that sounds a little goofy because I don't personally know most of you who are going to be watching this video, but I mean it because we've all lost a lot during quarantine. We've all lost a lot to COVID. For me, I've had to push back my wedding. I lost a job that I was on like the verge of getting, because I moved to a new area basically like right before COVID started, and I was on the verge of getting a job as a labor organizer in training, and then about a week or two before the final sort of like orientation and screening and all that, the job got put on hold indefinitely, and it was just not counting all the setbacks in my just personal life, social relationships, my martial arts training, all that has not been fun at all. And I bring this up not to say that, what I've gone through is unique at all. Like maybe my specific circumstances might not be common, but everyone's lost things during this quarantine. Some people have lost their jobs and haven't had the fortune I've had to be able to work remotely at my old job. Even if I'm kind of like a contract worker, for lack of a better word, I at least have some livelihood right now. And I have a fiance who does make decent money, so I'm very fortunate. So, for all of you listening, I'm sure that all of you, without exception, have felt loss and grief in some way during this pandemic. And that's not even counting people who have literally felt grief and loss from losing a family member. And so just the fact that we're able to keep on keeping on, I think, does mean a lot. Survival, I think, right now is important. And I'm proud of all of you for doing what you can to just keep putting one foot in front of the other during such a really, shitty time, basically. So, I am proud of you. Stay safe out there. I hope you're all doing well. And good luck, everyone. Thank you for listening.